Hey Internet, it's Andrew with Nights of the Drunk Watch, and we're here today to talk about The Boys. Season 2, episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, notifications bell, Patreon, all that good stuff.
We are the Nights of the Drunk Watch, and
now
our
talk
begins.
begins.
Is there any hope for Huey and Annie?
No.
Any hope for
I
those
don't
two
feel
losers?
it. Like, I am way more into Frenchie and what's her name?
Kimiko.
He got the second win from Butcher.
Yes,
He was making
Spoiler alert for the end of episode 3.
We just said we're talking about all three of them. So he was trying
all 3 episodes, by the way.
All 3 episodes, we're gonna mash them all together. So he was talking like
spoiler.
I think we got a really good 3-episode run of him ending that in his heart. Like, not even like, was it ever a thing, but he managed to finally be like, no, she's not my second win.
I ship it so
You
hard.
look at that last image of him looking up at Butcher, and it is
He was giving him the Billy Joel eyes.
I just wanted him to like lean his head on his shoulder.
Yes, so badly.
Who has the best plan, do you think, regarding Compound V? Annie with her go, 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 let's do it, let's burn him down? Or Huey with let's take a beat, make sure we know what we're doing?
I mean, maybe I was just being not paying attention, but do we know if Annie did that? Like, who she gave it to? How did it come out? Because we just knew she had it, and then the news came out. So we don't actually know who spread that or how.
Because we heard Mother's Milk talking to somebody earlier. He was trying to sell that to somebody on a phone. Forgive me, I don't remember what episode. Maybe 1, possibly 2. He was trying to convince somebody, hey, if you run with this story, it's going to be the great story of the century.
I was never in any doubt that Annie, because she had that cat and mouse thing with A-Train, but she came out on top on that and had the V at the end of it. I think her next move was to give it to CNN.
There's somebody else pulling the strings here, much like in our other show. We very much don't have all the pieces to say with any confidence, oh, this is happening because of that. And it's interesting that we haven't seen and they haven't pointed out exactly where the leak came from. We all just assume, based on what we've seen up to this point, it adds up to this. But I have a feeling, and it has a lot to do with the new member of the Seven, that everything is being engineered and is happening this way for a reason. It kind of occurs to me that Vought knew exactly what was going on between Starlight and Huey and allowed it to happen to see something, to see if they could trust her. I don't know what their end game is, but they are definitely keeping tabs on, and we're well aware of that situation.
I mean, I certainly think Edgar's character would foresee numerous possibilities and be prepared for them. I don't think they were unless it was all an act, which it could have been, I don't think he was quite prepared enough for V to come out at that moment. That he didn't have to take a check and then come up with the right plan to spin it.
For him to have leaked it right when the brand new member of the Seven caught and killed a super terrorist, like, that is the perfect time to produce a superhero producing compound.
They knew about Starlight and Huey. There's no way that they didn't know. There's no way. They were detailing the CIA. So how did they not detail Starlight and Huey of all people?
Wow, it's FRESCA. What's up with the superhero Scientologists?
Man, I used to drink FRESCA all the time. I'm wondering if this cult situation is actually a setup for next season.
Well,
yes.
It feels like they're, again, building this universe out. So Stormfront, do not trust that bitch as far as I could throw her. No. She is manipulating, pulling strings. We got to see at the end of the last episode. She clearly is not who she seems to be. And that was amazing, too, by the way.
What a
bitch.
she
She instantaneously knew when the Deep was saying he needs to renew his light. She instantly knew what the hell he was talking about.
She knew the church.
She knew the church, yeah.
She's like, you sound like you've joined the church.
And
I don't think the church is a secret. I mean, so...
Actually, I think that she's there as Gus's way to control Homelander. I think Edgar knows what Homelander is like. Homelander is uncontrollable. And how do you control a psycho? You just throw a bigger fucking psycho at his ass. Honestly, I think even Homelander's like, ew. Or at least he's going to get there.
What was the whole deal with Jessica Hecht, the Scientologist chick? Kenji's massacre, and what tipped them off to send Deep to be involved? Do anyone know any specifics? I mean, I remember her coming in with a pad and saying, "This is the key to you getting back in the 7." And then the next time we saw Deep was when he was leading the sharks and the whale.
It was an email from the leader of the church.
Yeah.
So either the leader's connected to the government or connected to Vought.
But were they made from V, or were they actual heroes that they were? Then
I mean, V
from.
See, this is where I get confused, because V, they trace back to 1973. The last season, they mentioned 1973 is when they started giving it to babies.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, how old is Homelander? I looked up the actor, and the actor is the right age to fit within that time frame. So now maybe V comes from like some kind of blood from actual superheroes that they synthesize, but.
And I can't remember if at the end of episode 3, because he doesn't find out for a really long time that whole that V even exists. Like,
that's because he's in fantasy land.
Yeah.
Now, whether he knew that he was made that way, he knew they were.
I don't think he knew that the 7 were made that. I think he still thought that some of the superheroes now were born that way. And so I think if that is true, and I have to go back, but if he still thought that he was born a superhero and that's why he's pushing his kids so hard to be a superhero, if that's the case, finding out that he was created is another way for Edgar to weaken.
That whole ending sequence of episode 3 was so satisfying in so many unbelievable ways. First of all, the whale was amazing.
But also the fact that they were like, we're gonna one up it. We're gonna run the boat into the whale and kill the whale with a boat. But also, can you build us a set inside it so we can have emotional conversations with multiple parents?
And the Mopey moment. Dynamics are really starting to set themselves up with Butcher as like the disgruntled dad, and then his stupid kids that are always getting into trouble and doing dumb shit. And then like Huey is like the, sort of favorite kid now because he's got a moral compass.
Yeah.
The canary.
Becca and Ryan. Can we talk about them for a minute?
I just don't even want to talk about it.
Okay. Who are they?
Okay, so Adi's out. Do we think that the actor playing Ryan will ever get a nice dad on TV?
Who else has he had?
He's Big Little Lies. He's one of the twins.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
He was Skarsgård's dad. Or son.
Yeah, Skarsgård's son, yeah. So,
maybe, I don't know how you typecast someone like, oh, you look like you should have a shitty dad, but I guess that's that face. I don't know what that looks like.
That's him. That's him right there.
It was miserable.
Hey, can we get that abused by dad kid in here? Somebody call his agent.
And do we know who Becca was? Who was Becca running off to?
Dr. Parker? Dr. Park,
who... I mean, it seems like he was maybe one of the people who was doing the baby research.
Is Ryan man-made, or was he procreated from Homelander?
The concept is that
he
was an unexpected procreation from Homelander raping Becca.
Okay.
I think it's arbitrary, and I mean, this could go back to did Homelander know that he was created or not? Like, as soon as he found out about that kid, if he wasn't magical already, he would have given him the compound.
Well, because when he found out about the kid, that's when he said, I didn't think we could do that.
But what if Vought made her have that baby full term? Because they weren't supposed to procreate, and it happened. Well, and now let's let it run its course.
Well,
it's possible.
We found out last season, I think we can, it's easily inferred. She covered it up. She kept it from Homelander, and she made a deal with Becca, and the deal was You can go.
Oh no, and the big doctor.
Yes.
Dr.
Well, no.
No, that wasn't Dr. Park. That was the other guy.
Her handler cut the deal.
Dr. Park talks about the deal.
Madeline Stillwell cut the deal with Rebecca, and it still had to do with Vought. Vought was still in control. Vought was footing the bill, and it was all under the Vought umbrella. Just, we're going to take you over here, take you away from it. You never have to see Homelander again. But of course, he found out, and that was one of the reasons he knew she was lying to him in the end of season 1, and he killed her for it.
The doctor that Becca went and talked to through the guard booth because they wouldn't let her in. I didn't think that was the guy that Homelander went.
I didn't see him.
No,
I didn't see him.
They were two different people. No, Andrew's correct.
Okay, well, either way, but he knows about the deal. He talked about the deal. He said, we made a deal.
Right.
Like, she brings it up, and he says, well, as soon as he found out, we couldn't do anything.
Ryan gets thrown off the house. He doesn't fly.
Doesn't die.
He bounces.
But and he doesn't break any bones. I mean, it's yes, and then he gets mad and his eyes glows, but we knew his eyes glowed last season.
Well, also he super strength pushes his dad.
My point is he was thrown off a house and didn't break a bone.
Yeah. I mean, we already know he's super. He was glowing last whatever. I'm assuming he has all his dad's powers. He just hasn't figured out how to fly.
Well, I mean, I think it's a big assumption that their powers are the same, that the powers are inherited. The glowing eyes are the same as his father's, so who knows where we're going with that. Jessica Hecht is a significant actor.
Yeah.
And so she's just not, she's a lot in the same line as Jennifer Esposito, who only had a featured part. She was the CIA agent, but she wasn't. But I mean, she still was important, and then her head exploded at the end.
Are you stuck on her head blowing
It's
up?
like I guess her budget went to Jessica Hecht. I don't know, but
That scene gave me so much anxiety for the rest of the show because at every moment, anyone's head could just explode.
You were
right,
just
like I thought that too.
Oh, that's gonna explode.
No.
I
My
thought that
problem
too.
with these last 3 episodes was Gecko and what he was doing in that hotel room for money. Just
Hot.
Oh God.
Hot. I was so turned on.
I have no problem. That's an entrepreneur, baby.
Yeah,
That is a businessman.
No, first off, he's not charging enough. Can I say that?
For an arm?
Right?
How much to cut his dick off?
Well, he didn't
1,000.
feel any pain, though. He didn't feel any pain, and I feel like that would make a difference. Like, he wasn't screaming. It wasn't anything. He just
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
choppy. It's back.
Double that.
Who said he didn't feel any pain? He could be dead to the pain at this point.
And to that, I would add, no man would ever offer up his dick for chopping unless he could absolutely not feel it.
okay. So we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch,
And
now our talk has
Talk
ended.
has ended.